page 27, next question. I see that samskaras trigger superimposition, but where did the samskaras come from? Very valid question. Where did they come from? Yeah, because he believes that samskara comes only because I've had a past encounter, and then I deposit the samskara from my memory of it or from my experience of it. That is the Dvaitam part thinking. Adi Shankaracharya says samskaras are impressions and they stem from ignorance. They are not personal. It's not that Avanti has her own personal bag of samskaras and Shailaja has her own personal bag of samskaras and they cannot mix. No. It's a collective bag of impressions that are born from ignorance of Brahman itself. And ignorance is beginningless, anadi. Anadi, beginningless. Anadi, avidya. Yeah? So, samskaras are also beginningless. So, here intellectual understanding will never suffice. Yeah? Because you cannot see anadi, avidya from the intellect. You cannot understand how ignorance is beginningless. Yeah? In a simple way, we can say that you do not have the knowledge of rocket science. Yeah? Unless a rocket scientist is watching this particular video, you do not have the knowledge of rocket science right now. Yeah. Since when do you have this ignorance of rocket science? You would say, what? I have it since the beginning. So I'll ask you, okay, beginning of what? And if you're a Advaitam path follower, you will say beginning of this body since birth. So then I'll ask you, okay, before that, did you have it? You'll say, no, I never had the knowledge of rocket science. Which means it is, the ignorance of rocket science is beginningless. Do you get it? I never had that knowledge. No, I was not a rocket scientist before birth. I was never a rocket scientist. I do not have that knowledge. That ignorance of rocket science has no beginning point. It's beginningless. Clear? Anadi avidya, beginningless ignorance. From that beginningless ignorance stems impressions, samskaras. So they are also beginningless. You cannot say, I have my own personal bag of samskaras. No, not at all. No, there is no person here. So there is no question of personal. If I am this witnessing field of consciousness and that body-mind that I thought is a body-mind in consciousness, that also claims to be the same witnessing field of consciousness. Can there be two separate witnessing fields of consciousness? Let me see, where does my border end and where does her border begin? Oh no, there are no two witnessing fields, it's one infinity. This is my own direct seeing. One infinite witnessing field, very clearly recognized as the witness of the waker. The same infinite witnessing field recognized as the witness of the dreamer or the dream character. And the same infinite witnessing field labeled as the deep sleep consciousness, which is witness of the absence of the waker and dreamer. Oh, same infinity. How can there be two infinities? Her infinity is separate from my infinity. How can there be multiple infinities? No. Oh, it's all one. So just like the witnessing field is all one, it is beginningless. There is no beginning point of it. There is no ending point of this witnessing field. There is no beginning point of infinity. There is no end point of infinity. I see it so clearly in my waking, dream and deep sleep. Oh, there is no beginning point of anything in this field, including the arisings in this field. And these arisings are nothing but impressions, samskaras. Samskaras bursting out and manifesting like a little illusory performance in front of me. They dance and they disappear. These samskaras do not have a beginning point because the source from which they are coming out does not have a beginning point. And I see this. Is Anadi very clear now, beginningless? Do you see it in your Swapna Nidra Jnana Sadhana? Yeah? Very important journal point. Yeah? The I arises from the darkness of deep sleep and suddenly finds itself amidst a plethora of dream arisings. Suddenly it finds itself. It never knows the beginning point of that story. It never knows the beginning point of the arising. Yeah? Similarly, the I never knows the waking story from the so-called birth of the waker. Not possible. Because it is beginningless. Ignorance is beginningless. Yeah. Your parent can tell you, oh, you were born on this date. You weighed so many pounds, whatever. Yeah. Details can be given by somebody else in the story. But I will never know the beginning point of this story. Means I will never know the birth of the waker. This is Anadi Samskara. Anadi Avidya. Beginningless. Do you see the beginninglessness of a dream in the dream state? Do you see the beginninglessness of the waker in the waking state? Then slowly you will come to a point where you see the beginninglessness of the I sense. There is no point where it begins and there is no point where it ends. It is continuous, permanent, always there. That is the true recognition of Turiya. Recognizing that Turiya is always there. It's beginningless and it's endless. That is the higher level. I'm giving you one higher level point than mentioned in the book. Very clear? Anadi is very clear, beginningless. And because it's Anadi, it's Ananta also. It's endless. It's endless, which means I will never know the end of this waker. I will never experience death. Do you see how fearlessness comes up in the Jnani? Because there is no fear of death left anymore. He says, oh, I didn't know my birth. I can never know death. Oh, what am I fearing? These arisings are all illusory dances in front of me. Nothing to fear. That's how Abhaya is born. Abhaya means fearlessness. Fearlessness cannot be born in anybody who does not see beginninglessness and endlessness. These two are the prerequisite direct seeing that are essential for one to become Abhaya, fearless. Yeah? This is a very high level quality of enlightenment. Once you are Abhaya, there is no more slipping back. In that Ludo game, you've crossed the 99 snake. There is no more slipping back. Abhaya is your little trophy, your award. that you've reached there, you've attained it. There is no more going back now. And if you've ever earned a little award, even in a small running race, a small swimming race, can you go back to that state where you were never a runner or never a swimmer? You cannot. Yeah, the trophy on the mantelpiece is the final certificate. There is no going back like that. What is the trophy on the mantelpiece of enlightenment? Abhaya, fearlessness. Moving on to L28. The question is, even if the snake superimposes on the rope and body-mind world superimposes on Brahman, it is still an experience, isn't it? So this is where Adi Shankaracharya differs from the direct seeing path. I have the direct seeing answer here. Yeah, Adi Shankaracharya says it is and it is not. He says both. It is real also and it is not real also. Yeah, but what does direct seeing path say? Let's see. The idea of experience itself is a superimposition. The illusory idea of enduring is imposed upon the truth of the witnessing background of non-experiencership. Don't you recognize this? Yeah, what is the witnessing background of non-experiencership? The deep sleep consciousness. The deep sleep consciousness is the continuous background. And there is no experience there. So my own Swapna Nidra Jnana Sadhana shows me the idea that I am experiencing something as the waker in the waking world. This entire idea of experiencing is a superimposition on my witnessing background of non-experiencership. Do you see this? Are you able to see, this waker, I'm experiencing this knowledge session right now. This idea of experiencing this session is superimposing on the deep sleep consciousness background. Non-experiencership there. Experiencership superimposing on non-experiencership. Yeah. This is different from what Adi Shankaracharya says. So there are certain points in this which are clearly Swapna Nidra Jnana Sadhana revelations, and they are not simply intellectual answers followed on Adi Shankaracharya's path. Yeah, that's why there's a little disclaimer, I don't know, in the front of the book or back of the book, that there are some points of Swapna Nidra Jnana Sadhana which are beyond the Advaita Vedanta path. So this is where Swapna Nidra Jnana Sadhana goes deeper than simply what Advaita Vedanta teaches. How do I see this in my Swapna Nidra Jnana Sadhana? I recognize that this I sense that has suddenly appeared from nothingness, it is looking for identity, so that I's pursuit of identity, that pursuit of identity triggers a samskara memory, a samskara impression. And that samskara impression is that which is not there, overlaying on that which is. Yeah? So the samskara memory comes up. Dream is that which is not, and it overlays on the deep sleep consciousness, that which is. Is this clear? Yeah, this is a direct translation from the Sanskrit. Overlaying that which is not on that which is. Yeah? So dream is not, whatever the dream story, your dream story, your dream character, your dream world, is that which is not, and that is overlaying on that which is the deep sleep consciousness. Thus dreams and waking are manifested on the backdrop of nothingness. Somethingness is on the backdrop of nothingness. This is your direct seeing. You see this very clearly coming out of your deep sleep to dream. The I finds illusory identification in the dreamer and waker. Thus, experience is a superimposition. So the illusory waker and dreamer, their illusory experience is superimposed on the background of non-experience. 28 is clear? Okay. Just for intellectual purposes, Adi Shankaracharya says it is experience as well as not experience. It is real as well as it is not real. He says both. Yes. But Swapna Nidra Jnana Sadhana says no. Experience is 100% superimposition. Yeah? This is where Swapna Nidra Jnana Sadhana deviates from Advaita Vedanta. Moving on to 29. Questioner asks, at enlightenment, one may recognize all experiences as mere superimpositions. Yet, one cannot deny that there was an illusory snake or a body-mind world that was experienced. He's saying what? When I wake up from a dream, I say that dream is no more. But I cannot say that I didn't experience the dream. I experienced the dream. Yeah, that is what his main question is. Yet one cannot deny that there was an illusory snake or body-mind world that was experienced. Question is very clear? Yeah. The answer is, at enlightenment, the illusion is not seen as existent. Never before, never during, never after. Yeah. If it is non-existent, can it be said to be experienced? How can the non-existent be experienced? Yeah. Very clear? This is where Swapna Nidra Jnana Sadhana goes on its own track, leaving Advaita Vedanta behind. Are you seeing? Direct seeing path bifurcates from Advaita Vedanta here. Advaita Vedanta says the world is there, it is real also, yet it is unreal. It is not what you are seeing it as. Direct seeing says no, it is not. This is where Gaudapada and Adi Shankaracharya went different ways. Gaudapada said it is not. Adi Shankaracharya was in the middle. Yeah. There was a little story also. I don't remember who asked who, but somebody asked, some saint asked somebody, that why didn't Adi Shankaracharya go Gaudapada's way? Gaudapada was Adi Shankaracharya's guru's guru. He should have gone that way. Why didn't he go all the way to direct seeing or the direct path, where you recognize Ajata, there is no world? Why didn't he go that way? So saying he was a world guru, he had to be palatable to a large audience, and the larger audience was intellectualizing the knowledge. So Adi Shankaracharya stopped for his audience. But Gaudapada, those who are really serious about Ajatavada, must happily bifurcate away from Adi Shankaracharya's Advaita Vedanta and move towards Ajatavada. What is Ajatavada? There is no world. And only Swapna Nidra Jnana Sadhana can take you there. Very clear? So at enlightenment, one may recognize that all experiences are mere superimpositions. Yet one cannot deny that there was an illusory snake or a body-mind world that was experienced, isn't it? The answer is, at enlightenment, the illusion is not seen as existent. Never before was there a snake. Never during the seeing of the snake on the rope is there a snake, and never after seeing the rope as just a rope is there a snake. The snake was never there. I will never say that the snake was there and is not there now. I cannot do that. So if the snake is non-existent, can I say that I experienced the non-existent? How silly is that? No. There is no experience of the non-existent. Yeah? Now we've bifurcated. Now we've moved higher to Ajatavada in this book. We are moving higher. So, in direct seeing, how will I see it? The eye knows very well it has projected a dream. No, this is not really me. No satisfaction. It is very smart to discard that dream as an illusion. It projects another one. It's again very smart to discard. No, this is not me. Again, next. Do you see this? It comes to the waking also, and it discards the entire dream state. It knows well to discard every dream state as an illusion. After the dream is over, can it say that the dream tiger was born and is dead now? Have you ever said it? How have you not naturally said this? Tell me. You should have said, no, the dream tiger was born and it has died now. But you've never said that. You say, it was a dream, illusion. Dream tiger never existed. Correct? Where does your natural inclination to say this come from? From the truth. How can the non-existent be experienced? That truth is nothing but your Vidya aspect. There is a Vidya aspect in you. That knowledge comes up from there and it sublates all superimpositions completely. That's how I see it in my journey from deep sleep. The sense of I comes up, it discards this dream, discards that dream, comes to the waking and discards the complete dream state. Complete, null and void, zero. It doesn't say I experienced a dream tiger, it was born and it died. No, it says that it was an illusion, rubbish, nonsense, garbage. Because there is a very clear Vidya aspect in you that sees, oh, the non-existent cannot be experienced. That knowledge cancels all the superimpositions completely. And that's how his question is answered. He's saying you cannot deny that experience happened. No, that all little argument happens when you take the stand of the body-mind person. The Vidya aspect in you, which belongs to the witnessing, is so clear that how can that which is non-existent be experienced? Hence, there is nothing like experience. Experience is a superimposition on the background of non-experience. Very clear? Now, this questioner has matured and the questioner has come to a point where he asks the question, what happens when all superimpositions are sublated? Does the knowledge of the superimposition remain? What is the answer? Now, remember, we have bifurcated from Advaita Vedanta. We are on the path of Ajatavada. We've moved higher. The direct seeing of nobodiness and nothingness sublates all superimpositions, even that of a knower of knowledge. Do you see this? Do you recognize every arising comes, peaks, dissolves? It's gone. Knowingness ends at the end of every arising. The knower of the arising dies along with the arising that is known. It's only an idea of a knower that comes up with the known, and the idea of the knower and known both collapse together. When I recognize myself as that background of nobodiness, nothingness, I am deep sleep consciousness, all these superimpositions of, oh, something is being known separate from me, all these dissolve. All these dissolve. Everything becomes only knowledge. That's why that sentence, Brahman is knowledge devoid of a knower. That's how you come to that peripheral knowledge field that constantly is recognizing that it is knowingness, it is the knower, it is the known. All three is one. There were never three. There were only three separate labels put on that field of knowledge. And one such label was I am, or that sense of I am, or that feeling of I am. That becomes very clear. Only knowledge is. Only knowledge is devoid of a knower. Yeah, that I am was also a label to grasp the identity of a knower and slap it there. And then have a known. That's how the search of identity progressed. Now when I've come back, traced my steps back, I recognize, oh, there's only knowledge devoid of a knower. And how do you see it specifically in your Swapna Nidra Jnana Sadhana? The I's recognition of the futility of this search for identification. Oh, it's nonsense. I'm looking for identification in this waker. I'm looking for identification in the waking world. I'm trying to grasp this for identification, grasp that. But there is no joy here. It's futile. The I's recognition of the futility of its search for identification propels it to turn away. It turns away from both waking and dream. And it collapses. It collapses into that effulgent nothingness background. And it embraces its true nature. Now it's happy to be nobody. Its true nature is radiant nobodiness. So then there is no more separate sense of I am labeled and that I am trying to label a dream character as me and the dream world as mine. No more labels. There is only knowledge. Only knowledge. Only knowledge remains devoid of a knower. In your Swapna Nidra Jnana Sadhana, have you reached this state yet? Have you come here? Clear? This is the way to see that knowledge is the only way to eradicate or eliminate the lack of knowledge. Nothing else was required. You didn't do anything else on the path of Swapna Nidra Jnana Sadhana except trace back your steps of identity search, and that is the path of knowledge. And it erased this path of lack of knowledge. Everything gets erased like this.